Hello, welcome back to today's channel. Me, high-functioning aesthetic, the artist that literally never updates actually, and you know why? Because capitalism is a bullshit hellhole, fucking YouTube is a bullshit hellhole, and I would love to make an income off my art, but we all know that does not happen easily. Well, today you're in luck because I have a fucking bugbear, and you know what my conspiracy theory is? I'm so suspicious that as we get older there are just things that we cannot let go of, and I feel like that becomes our whole personality, right? Because I feel like every adult is known something like, oh, that's Bob, he's not over his third divorce from his wife. Oh, that's Maggie, she's obsessed with washing her hands. Or, oh, that's Hitler, he just invaded Poland, is really racist as a result of his daddy issues, which probably isn't the best joke, but you know what, I have such a complex these days. I know I never let go of anything ever, but my one hatred that I'm going to burden y'all with today, because goodness knows I can't afford therapy, fucking twin flames. What the fuck is that fucking scam? If there has never been a more apparent fucking bullshit thing of the patriarchy, it's fucking twin flames, because I feel like that's such a 50s concept, right? Back when women weren't really having their own autonomy, when they were sort of treated a bit like options and objects and property. It was such the standard back then, oh, you have to marry a man because you don't have your own bank account. Oh, if you want to be anywhere in life, you can't work, you've got to fucking rely on a man. And as a result, there was a lot of shit that women had to put up with, and one of them is domestic violence, and it was just an all-round not great time in general. Fuck for the advancement of feminism, but what is a fucking twin flame? It's this whole bullshit where oh, there's this person who's gonna treat you really bad in life, and that is your divine calling because you guys are just so in love. Only the other person doesn't know it. So y'all are just gonna have to suffer together, and as the woman, you have to be the one who emotionally pays for fucking tell me that's not some bullshit, right? I feel every single dynamic, spiritual, twin flame thing that I've ever seen, fucking ever. Maybe I live under a rock, but I feel every twin flame fucking shit in general is one very anxiously attached woman who's not really doing boundaries the best, and there's this fucking douchebag of a fucking douche canoe avoided man who she's not even with him, let's be real. He's a fucking fuckboy who's using her and probably 50 other women only because of some spiritual woo-woo bullshit she's been sold to online. She's convinced of their divine union. As a result, she lets him back for years and years and years, and I hate it, man. I fucking hate that shit. Maybe I'm not explaining it all that well, maybe it's best to look it up on your own terms, but bro, what the fuck? What the fucking fuck? Bro, feminists did not freaking get ostracized on the internet for the last however long it's been. They don't fucking sacrifice all their quality of life to fight for rights just so you can sit in the corner with your crystals and daddy issues going oh, why won't he value me? Why won't he treat me girl, where is your self-respect? Why are you using fucking spiritual jargon to say in your situationship who really doesn't give a fuck about you? I hate it, and I hate it. I hate it almost as much as I hate the TikTok comments. I had to delete TikTok. And they're always so specific. I was getting fucking harassed on TikTok by this AI granny, right? I don't know how she did not get sued for copyright and defamation by Buckingham Palace, because she was she had Queen Elizabeth's face, and she was always on the most specific shit, oh, there was a man, a very ugly skinny man, and his ears are like satellites, and he's got a very long skinny penis, and he's obsessing about you, he's thinking about you, he can't get over you. I'm sitting here going bro, I don't think I've ever met a man with ears ears like satellites. It's so specific. And it's this thing that fucking no one ever has. And when the tarot videos start, right, she's acting like he's the most horrible person in the world. But by the end of these tarot videos, it's you think there's some hope. Oh, maybe he's not a bad person after all. I don't want to be a fucking Bible thumping evangelist, but like, bro, that's not a lie of the devil. What it's like, so that's the standard that we've established, right? That's the fucking standard of like how much I hate this like spiritual book. I'm a very spiritual person, but there's just something like AI Granny Queen Elizabeth and her obsession with his like satellites and the fucking twin flames. Like, I don't know about, I'm quite suspicious about soulmates, because, like, that's its own fucking story that no doubt we'll get to at some point, but, like, fucking twin flames, I hate it, and I hate how it's sold as this thing you're powerless against. Like, there's always the rhetoric, like, oh, you have to go along with this man who's emotionally abusing you or won't sort his own shit out, because if you don't, honey, you're gonna be here for a long fucking time until he sorts his shit out too, which is somehow your fault. I hate that. It's like, at the end of, maybe this is very jaded of me to say, but I feel like everything in this life is a business deal, and that includes spirituality, right? Like, if I'm talking to you, a stranger on the street, or if I'm talking to you who's watching my YouTube video, I have to be some degree of likable for you to like me, right? Like, this has to be worth your fucking time, and that's the same with spirituality. I'm not even sorry anymore, like, if I'm gonna get bashed to hell over this, like, it's unfortunate, but it's like, whatever deity or spiritual practice you are following, you have to be invested. Like, you have to see it as worth it. Otherwise, like, what is this? It's some lower level demon terrorizing you and holding you for emotional extortion. Like Christianity, Buddhism, Islamism, like, there has to be some degree of worth it. Like, there has to be a fucking business thing that goes both ways. They have to be promising something, no matter how abusive it is and no matter how like small it is in terms of realism. Like, you have to have a realistic expectation that you can get to where you want to go and get to the thing that you want to get if you just try hard enough. And it just feels so fucking unfair, right? Like, all these poor women, and I see them in like forums, because I was like a little bit that way too, not gonna lie, which is the story we'll get to soon, but it's like all these freaking heartbroken ass women who do not love themselves and like these forums, and they're going like, oh, he's abused me for the 1000th time, he's on a flight to Arkansas, he never texts back. I know it's Spirit's divine calling, I know I just have to do my job as the right half in this like friggin', and it's always them who's self-sacrificing, it's always them making themselves smaller, which is a big key thing that I don't think gets looked at enough. They're always making themselves less, making themselves smaller, not voicing their issues, not putting down some fucking boundaries. And like, what are these men doing? They're fucking like, I don't know how many STDs they've got this time, but it's just, I hate it so much. And it's like, if we're going to tie back the whole thing of like spirituality being just like everything else, which is in its own sense of business deal, right? Like, girlies, what are you getting out of this? Because call me out for being closed-minded, but I feel like the only thing you're getting out of this is like the lack of accountability. Like, yeah, whatever's happened to you to make this this way, that's fucking horrible, but like, do you really want to live this way for the rest of your life? Like, I remember reading somewhere about chaos addiction, right? And like, I'm going to go into the rant here. Chaos addiction is essentially like a form of homeostasis. So for those who don't know what homeostasis is, it's your body's like medical response to try and heal itself or make itself normal. So when you're in a cold room, you are going to feel cold because that is your body's sense of homeostasis, trying to warm the room up. Or if you have an infection, your body's going to like flood the area with like ideally a lot of white cells to try and clear it up. Now, unfortunately, this also extends to psychology in the sense that when you're in your formative years, so like you get a major one at like 0 to 5 and you get a few others in other areas of your life, your body is essentially looking around going, what is normal? I am a baby. I need to survive by fitting in with everyone else. So I'm going to look around and see what bullshit everyone else is on, and then I'm going to emulate that because that is obviously the standard of society, which works great. If you are a well-rounded, healthy environment like this, I feel like that's how we get cultures, right? Like German culture or Japanese culture is like some person who is on so much of a vibe that everyone was like, yeah, this is the standard. But unfortunately, when you're in a like not great environment, so like abuse or like even unfortunate attachment styles, which if you don't know, like girlie, I cannot keep you up to date with everything here. You need to do your own work on what attachment styles is if you don't know what that is. But anyway, back to the tangent that we're on. If you are like a baby who's in an environment, right, and you're looking around and you're like, everyone around me is screaming and shouting all the time, this is the standard, your nervous system like develops at that standard. And like as you get older as an adult, when everyone's like fucking normal and not actively throwing bottles at each other, your nervous system is like, hang on, this is all really suspicious, and you feel like a great sense of unease. And so you try and manufacture chaos because in your mind it feels like better the devil you know than the devil you don't. So where's the fucking devil? And so when you can't see the fucking devil, which your nervous system has convinced you is always there all the time, you're going to feel like so fucking uneasy. And if we're going to be like real conspiracy theorists, I think that's why some people like true crime or like gothic girls like dead things, right? Because it's a safe level of discomfort that's sort of like, it's safe, so it gets your nervous system back up to the normal level, but at the same time it's very controlled. It's like, I think it's the same logic as to why when you go to Antarctica you see polar bears fighting, like play fighting with huskies. It's because they're another species, so like, ooh, what is this? It's a bit dangerous, right? But because they're like on good terms with each other, it's a controlled level of discomfort that helps with like neural brain activity, which I feel like I'm going on so many tangents. Like I'm definitely not medicated or diagnosed, right? But like, it's this whole thing with like the whole spiritual twin flame thing. I reckon, I'm so sure that if you've been raised, like probably if your dad's walked out on you, or if you have an anxious attachment style, so like the biggest thing that makes anxious attachment style is when you are given love, but it's not always there, and it's not predictably there. It becomes like hardwired into your little baby brain that you have to perform for it, you have to try harder, because like that's the biggest difference between anxious attachment and avoidant attachment. Avoidantly attached people are not given love enough. They might be given it sometimes, but it's not enough for them to rely on, so they learn to become like freaking socially and like emotionally self-sufficient. So when someone comes along with love, it feels like a fucking slap in the face, because like, what do you mean I was just a baby? I had to sort of like grow up without trusting this. But that's not the case with anxiously attachment people. That are taught, there's this whole dynamic of, if I perform enough, it will be given to me. And when that shit's not addressed, because you know the saying, right? What goes unaddressed in childhood ends up manifesting in your adult relationships. There is this unspoken, unacknowledged dynamic, which maybe you're not consciously aware of, but is definitely playing out. And it's the whole thing of, if I can get this person who does not love me, and I can convince them to love me, then I will finally be worthy of love. And your subconscious believes that that is the thing that's going to cure you, because if you have this like whole complex of like, my parents never loved me, or I was never really deserving of love, there's this whole thing in your spirit that you have to fight to get it and fight to be worthy of it. Like, and honestly, if you're going to look real deeper, I would be very suspicious. Like, babe, why do you keep going for emotionally avoidant people? What are you emotionally avoiding about yourself? Like, what is something that you're discarding in yourself that you don't want to give yourself, and you're just going to like offload the labor onto someone else so that they can do it? Why are you not showing up for yourself? Like, that's the real tea, but it's like not something that you can really say to a lot of people, because then they get like really defensive and like block you. You don't know why. But it's like, I'm so suspicious that that's what it is with twin flames. Like, the whole narrative is very convenient into you offloading the inner shadow work you can do, which is bullshit in itself, right? Because like, why should I have to be paying for therapy bills over someone's undiagnosed fucking son? And it's always someone's undiagnosed son on their shit. Like, I was just a kid. I didn't ask to be given all this trauma, and now I'm having to pay like fucking thousands every month just to try and get any semblance of healing, which doesn't really feel like healing, right? And I feel like that is the twin flame. Because if you can just sit there, like, I know this is very harsh of me to say, like, I'm taking a very harsh response, right? Like, if you could just sit here and cry because your man's just been shit, which, like, yeah, the man's shit, but like, why is that where you are? Why is that your frequency? Why is that the bus stop for you, right? Like, sooner or later, don't you think you should sort of wake up and realize, hey, this man is shit, and he's systematically shit. He's actually never going to change, because that's all he is. Like, it's not really fair to be like blowing up at him when that's all he ever is and ever will be. Like, at that point, you sort of got to look to yourself like, go like, hey, babe, I'm the one who has an issue with this. You know, I keep fucking going back to it. Like, do you want to be miserable for the rest of your life? Because that is how you're going to be. Like, it's sad that you're hurting, and I'm sorry that you're hurting, but like, fuck. At the end of the day, people are going to get emotionally exhausted around you if you're crying over the same old man and you keep ringing him back, going back to him like, maybe I've clearly got some issues, but it's like, I feel like that is like fucking twin flame shit. And like, again, if we're going to pull the whole like bullshit about like spirituality being a business agreement, like, babe, you don't have to do this. Like, there's a saying that goes, God will only give you what you can handle. Like, I'm not convinced either way, because like, as someone who's had a few friends now die of suicide, I'm a bit traumatized. But you know what? If we were going to entertain the idealism that God never gives you anything you can't handle, like, why are you staying in this twin flame? You could very easily get up and go like, you know what? I don't actually want to be tied to someone's undiagnosed son who can't treat anyone right. Why? It's so fucking unfair and patriarchal that he gets like this really high value person just fucking waiting on him for him to one day change, and never fucking does, while he's out fucking sticking his dick in him. Why is my self-worth? Yes, baby Toes. I've got this foster cat. Her name's Toast, and she always has something to say. Yes. So anyway, back to my tangent. Like, you don't have to stay like this. And I hate the bullshit that the twin flame theories are like fucking told, like, oh, you have to let this man treat you like shit, and you are also the one who's responsible for him getting better and like sorting out shit, which you can't do that to a person. You can't fucking change them. Like, trust me, girly, I have tried with all my other girlfriends who keep going back to their shit, man, but it's like, babe, sort it out. It's so unfair and actually really scammy. You have to be the one emotionally responsible for a shit. Like, what do you think would happen if you one day got up and it was like, you know what, I actually really can't be fucked. Like, I just don't want to be tied to someone who's that shit. Like, it's unfair and it's actually emotionally abusive. Because that's what it is. It is unfair and unreasonable to expect you to be crying for like your whole entire life waiting for someone who actually never gave a fuck. Because someone who really did give a fuck, was really meant for you, would not be risking at all losing you and would not be on that cloud shit. Like, why are we being sold like some fucking scam that the person who is meant for us is treating us so... I hate it so much. And like, for the life of me, I cannot figure out how to word exactly what I just said in a way where people actually fucking listen and wake up. Because like, bitch, what are you here for? I feel like the secret to life and the universe and everything is to leave the world a better place than you found it. Like, it just doesn't make sense to just be here and put on this earth for suffer. Like, it seems like a waste of resources for a start. And like, you know what? The whole threat, like, oh, if you don't sort this man's shit out, you're gonna just reincarnate until you get worn down and accept his shit, which actually sounds like a little bit rapey to me, if you're gonna be honest. But like, you know what? At the end of the day, we're in a dying world, in a capitalistic hellhole. Maybe reincarnation is not too bad. Like, there is a lot of shit that needs to be fixed about this place. Like, maybe that's the deal. If the curse is like, oh, you're just gonna reincarnate until, like, fuck it, I'll do it. I'll just fix everything about this place. No one else ever gets anything fucking done. Like, maybe that's the tea. Maybe you just gotta like train as a medicine person or a healer or a social worker or something. And meanwhile this person's undiagnosed, I'm like, I fucking hope they can't be shit, right? Like, oh my gosh, little baby, I'm trying to record something and you are being so loud. You need to start your own YouTube channel. Yes, baby girl, you have food in your bowl. Ugh. I wish I knew how to say that. Like, everything I've fucking dumped on you guys, I wish I knew how to say it, but it's like, bro, the math's not mathing. If I was going to be real, like, fucking jaded and conspiracy theorist here, I could say that everyone's on their own paths. I actually read this interesting gossip on Threads the other day when it was like, you need to stop saving these men when they try and like scam you for money or a place to live, or when someone's in like a bad situation. When you step in between them and that, you are prolonging their suffering and then you get their karma too. Like, it's a lose-lose situation. Again, like, I don't know if I'm completely sold on that, but like, it makes a little bit too much sense, right? Like, as a girly who self-sacrifices and who also has like poor boundaries and shit, like, there's been quite a few people who I've tried to rescue because, like, no one ever rescued me, right? And when you know how it feels, you do want someone to not feel as bad as you. But the side effect is that's sort of how you get used, you know, like that's sort of how people give you a run for their money, because at the end of the day, the reason why you weren't saved is because people don't have that much empathy and they don't really have the capabilities. And then when you try and save those people, like, what do you think is going to happen, my good bitch? But again, that's the tangent I'm on. And I've been on this tangent for like a fucking hot minute. Like, I want to say years at this point, but like, bro, I've got ADHD. Everything feels like years, but it's like, maybe that's actually a chapter of my own healing. Like, at the end of the day, I've got this like saying burned into my brain. It's not about whether I believe it or not. It's just something that's stuck there. The cycle will continue until the lesson is learned. Like, bitch, why am I this hung up on shit years later? Like, I feel like that's my fucking bugbear of life, right? Like, I feel like I do have a bit of a victim complex, but it's like, I feel like I keep getting really horrible shit happen to me, and I never get past it. I never put down and never let it go. Because, like, that's a whole other tangent that I won't get into, but it's like, why am I still this cut up about, like, a fucking twin flame connection years later? Why do I care? Like, I care so much, and it really bugs me seeing all these women, like, not deserving to be suffering that much, but at the same time, like, they've been scammed so deeply into, like, putting up with other people's shit. And at the end of the day, like, even if we all die, and, like, fucking Buddha's there on a lotus flag going, oh, yeah, actually, the twin flame shit was actually all real, like, and it's still a fucking scam. Like, why do I have to go along with this? Why am I, just because I am a woman, why do I have to be given this fucking anxious attachment and, like, scammed into giving my best years being so upset over someone who's... It's a scam. Even if it is more real than gravity, it is a scam. And I feel like that is low-key something that people don't recognise enough. Like, when you are spiritual, you're sold this very big unspoken belief that you have to just go along with whatever's your way because that's spiritual, right? And everyone sort of, like, puts it on a pedestal, like, the spiritual realm is, like, higher than you, but, like, no, babe, you're an equal participant in this. You don't have to go along with every business. You don't have to sign every contract just because it's a woo-woo mythical beast on the other end of it, right? Like, I hate it. Like, I remember someone talking to me about Christianity because, like, I was still Christian. No matter how much I suffer, and they're like, you have a very paganistic view. Like, you interact with Christianity through a very pagan lens. And I remember giving, like, some response back going, like, yeah, man, God's going to actually have to be worth something and have a certain standard of behaviour. Otherwise, I'm going to either fight him or I'm just going to walk backwards into hell, giving, like, him the middle fingers, and, like, maybe I will end up in hell for saying that. But, like, I feel like a lot of people have religious trauma, right? A lot of people have their issues with God. Like, regardless on your own thoughts, views, and opinions on that, like, God actually has to love us and actually have to be there for us and, like, be giving us something, because with so many people, with how so many people are there, like, there's more people mad at God than people who are mad at fucking Zeus, right, or whoever it was who keeps impregnating everyone else's wives, and he's got that wife called Hera who's, like, so done with this shit and maybe is a closet lesbian. But it's like, I think God is the most hated deity here, and, like, if it's something I know about internet drama, it's the real ones that get hated on the most. It's like, bitch, God actually has to be on some shit, otherwise with the amount of people that hate him, like, they're gonna all band together and fight him, and, like, they'll either win, and that's not a good look for God, or they're all gonna lose. And when it's that public, like, that many people, like, however many there are slaughtered horribly or whatever, it's just not a good look for the rest of the people you want to be by your side, you know? Anyway, that's my rant, and I wish it was more coherent. I wish I could also scam you into some shit, because not only would I scam some self-value into and to not go along with, like, this fucking twin flames shit, but also I'd scam you into, yes, baby, toast, oh my gosh, into donating to, like, Ko-Fi, because, it's very hard being an artist, and very grueling, which is why I don't make videos much. But also, look at my art that I made. I love this piece so much. I've pretty much never drawn bones before, but I am drawing a fucking bony ass dragon, and I basically, well, I hope I put the recording, the redraw onto this audio. Like that's the one. I film all my shit, right? But that's the one that I'm aiming to put on this YouTube video. So thank you for listening to me ramble. Ugh, all three of you are like probably who knows who. That's my tea for the day. I wonder what tea I'll come up with next. Bye.